Welcome back to Open. I'm Bobby C. On today's program, we're going to switch it up a little bit, little Sports NYC style, with a very special 2011 Heisman ceremony segment. Let's take a look back at the 2011 Heisman presentation. This is Bobby C. reporting from Times Square. The Heisman Trophy has a new man of steel. Baylor quarterback Robert Griffin III has been nothing short of amazing this season, and on Saturday night, Baylor's Superman was super in the race for the 77th Heisman Trophy. RG3 even has the socks to prove it.
If you can go to the Heisman, you wear your best suit, your best shoes, and your best socks. So these are the best socks I got. It's exciting. My heart was beating, really, really hard. I could feel it in my chest, like they all said. And when you hear your name called, you're just excited and relieved. The modest Griffin III, the first ever from Baylor University to win college football's most prestigious award, began the season on the fringe of the Heisman conversation. But the dynamic RG3 made a late push toward immortality.
Robert's just dynamic is the word we use a lot because he's so explosive running the football. He can throw the deep ball, he can throw the short ball, he's accurate. As good as he is as a football player, he's just as good as a student, and he's a tremendous young man and ambassador for our football program.
The junior's signature moment came on a long touchdown pass with 8 seconds left to beat Oklahoma. He finished the season with 36 TDs and led the 15th-ranked Bears to a 9-3 mark.
It's a huge, huge individual award that he very much so deserves by the way that he's conducting himself, the way he's prepared, the way he's planned, and certainly by the way he's performed.
No player from Baylor had ever finished higher than 4th in the Heisman voting, and that was 48 years ago.
This is a transformational moment for Baylor University and our football program to have a Heisman Trophy winner, and coming off the season that we have, I don't think Baylor football will ever be the same. The son of 2 U.S. Army sergeants said he couldn't have done it without the support of his family, teammates, and Baylor.
It's about, Baylor Nation. Last year our slogan was Rise Up, and we certainly done that. It's for the Waco community. We'll bring this back home and hopefully, inspire people to chase their dreams and, because I made my dream a reality.
He's worked so hard all his life and sacrificed so much just to get where he is. So it's a blessing. It's a culmination of all his hard work.
Is it just such a pleasure knowing that he's been this successful?
It's very pleasing, that the thing that we put forth for Robert and things for mastering different skills, in different events that he did.
RG3 had to be super to top this group of Heisman finalists. Luck finished 2nd, while Alabama running back Trent Richardson took 3rd. Wisconsin's Monty Ball and LSU's Tyrann Mathieu rounded out the voting.
This is the pinnacle of the great season that all of those finalists had, and every one of the guys that were here tonight, were undoubtedly extremely worthy candidates.
Then again, Griffin III is Superman, the Heisman's man of bronze. Robert Griffin III, the first Baylor player to ever win the Heisman, of course, is your 2011 selection. We're joined now on the program by Bronx News sports writer Howard Goldin. Howard, were you shocked to see Robert Griffin III win?
No, I was not. It looked like from the latter part of the season that he was getting greater attention, doing excellently as he had all season, and it looked like he would be able to bypass Andrew Luck, the previous favorite for this year's award.
Watching Robert Griffin III up there, he definitely had a lot of fun tonight. A little bit of play with the Superman action and the socks. He is not only a terrific athlete, but also a superior academic student. In my mind, I think he is everything that the Heisman Award embodies. Do you agree?
Absolutely. You have a person who not only had a superlative season on the field, but a young man who graduated in 3 years with a major in political science, a man who is now working on his master's degree in communication, and someone who looks forward to in the future, if the NFL doesn't intervene, to going to Baylor Law School. So we have an extremely intelligent as well as a superior athlete. This is a young man who was born in Japan, probably the first Heisman winner who comes from a military family. Both his parents attained the position of sergeant in the Air Force. He, as he himself said this evening, was brought up where discipline was a very important facet in his life, And he obviously has a great degree of self-discipline to make himself so fine an athlete. In fact, in 2009, 2 years ago, in the third game of the season, he tore his ACL in his right knee. So he had to go a great deal of therapy, a great deal of getting himself back into shape to play competitive football at the highest level in the Big 12, and he was able to successfully do so, where many athletes obviously cannot.
For most of the season, Andrew Luck was the story. I would say for 2/3 of the season, many people felt that Andrew Luck would more than likely be the 2011 Heisman winner. Griffin, of course, steps in, and in my mind, one of the things we talked about with him here tonight, he had several Heisman signature moments. When was the moment that you felt Robert Griffin III won the Heisman?
Well, as he himself mentioned tonight, it probably was later in the season in the game against Oklahoma. We're talking about a young man, quarterback, who in his last 203 passes was intercepted only once. We're talking about a man who has thrown 36 touchdowns to help his team be competitive in an extremely difficult conference. So we're talking about somebody who did not necessarily overtake someone, but who on his own merit won the award as the premier football player in the college level in 2011.
Where does Robert Griffin III rank in your book in terms of Heisman Award winners?
Well, in personality and intelligence, he probably ranks very, very highly, because one of the things that are supposed to be criteria for this particular award is character, not only on the field but off. In fact, in the third year of the ceremony, 1937, Byron White was second place finisher, and 25 years after that year, he was appointed to the United States Supreme Court by President John F. Kennedy. So we're talking about character being important.
Tonight's finalists actually remind me very much of the finals that we saw 2 years ago, where you had Ndamukong Suh, Tim Tebow, Colt McCoy, and of course Mark Ingram, who wins the award. In your mind, tonight, the ones that did not win, Andrew Luck, the Honey Badger, how would you rank them as finalists?
Well, they were obviously had excellent football years. In fact, the fifth-place finisher from Louisiana State, this year's soon-to-be probably national champion, was a defensive player, which is a tremendous rarity, and that shows the kind of outstanding season he had. Because in the 385 finishing finalists in the 77 years of the award, only 22 were defensive players. And the first two ranked at that level was of Fordham University students from the Bronx, Alex Wojciechowicz, who came in fourth in 1937, the first and last, unfortunately, Bronx college student in the top 5.
The Heisman Trophy actually designed after an NYU player. I think it's fitting that the award every year is right here in New York City. Do you agree?
Absolutely. It began in Lower Manhattan at the Downtown Athletic Club as the Downtown Athletic Club Award. It was only in its second year where it received the name of John Heisman, a coach who died during that year, and he was honored with the name for the trophy given at that time by the Downtown Athletic Club.
Very special to be here in Times Square with you, Howard. Your final thoughts on tonight's Heisman?
I think it was a very interesting one, and I think the first-place finisher, Robert Griffin III, did himself outstandingly by showing not only his high intelligence, by how articulately he spoke on the cuff, but also the sense of humor and the fine personality and decency that he showed. The fact that his mother and father were here, that his sister was here, that his fiancée was here, shows something also about the character of his family.
That's all the time we have left in this segment, Howard. I really wanted to thank you for coming on the program. And as always, I wanted to encourage everybody at home to pick up the Bronx News and read your excellent columns.
Thank you very much. I appreciate being able to be here tonight. and I am always a pleasure to be with you, and I thank you very much for giving me this time.
Don't forget to tune in tonight, Sports NYC 9:30, and on Saturdays as well. We'll have more open back after this.